This information is presented by the Thomas Harriot College of Arts and Sciences Academic Advising and Resource Center at East Carolina University. It is designed to provide registration guidance to intended multidisciplinary majors with concentrations in either classical studies or great books. Students who are majoring in great books will be assigned to Dr. Helena Feder as their advisor. She can be reached at federh@ecu.edu. Students who are majoring in classical studies will be assigned to Dr. John Stevens. He can be reached at stevensj@ecu.edu. Now let's review the graduation requirements for your major. If you're choosing the BA in Multidisciplinary Studies, you can choose either the Classics or the Classical Studies concentration. As you can see, both requirements are very similar. You'll need 40 hours of general education, 12 hours of foreign language, core classes, and a minor in general electives. Don't worry if you don't know which one you want to pursue now. You have plenty of time to talk with Dr. Stevens about your options. Now let's review the graduation requirements for the Multidisciplinary Studies Great Books option. Again, you'll have to complete 40 hours of general ed, 12 hours of foreign language, your major courses, which consist of Great Book core courses at the 2000 level and Great Book seminars at the 3,000 and 4,000 level. You'll also be required to complete a minor and general electives, and there is a thesis option available. The catalog also provides an alphabetical listing of all the minors we offer. I encourage you to start reviewing these now, and you may even want to take a course in the fall if you want to try some out. Now let's take a look at sample four-year plans for both majors. I want to stress the word sample because there are many different ways for you to graduate in 4 years. Both of these degrees are very flexible. For example, even though we list English 1100 in the fall for both classical studies and great books majors, we expect that about half of our students will take English 1100 in the spring, and that's perfectly fine. Also, you'll notice that your first 2 semesters are composed mostly of general ed courses. That means as long as you take gen ed courses, you will be on track to graduate. Please keep in mind that Greek 1 and Latin 1 are typically only offered in the fall semesters, so keep that in mind when starting your foreign language. For classical studies, it's recommended that you start both Greek and Latin in the fall of your first semester. If you are bringing in advanced placement credit, this slide shows you the minimum scores needed and what credit you will be receiving. We typically receive AP scores from College Board in early July. If you have questions about this, consult your academic advisor. If you are bringing in college-level transfer credit, you can look up course equivalencies in Banner Self-Service. Just look under the Student tab for course equivalencies. Then select your state and institution. Courses listed have already been approved for transfer credit. If you see courses that transfer over as XXX, that means that while they may transfer to ECU, you may need to work with your advisor to get those reevaluated by the department to see if they will count toward your degree. Also, if you do not see a course listed, it doesn't necessarily mean it won't transfer. It just means that, again, you may need to work with your advisor to get that course reevaluated by the department. Always consult your advisor with questions. So how do you know when we have processed your AP scores or college transfer credit? You should look in Banner Self-Service under the Student tab for Student Records. Then select your academic transcript. Here is an example of how AP credit and college-level transfer credit will appear. As you can imagine, ECU receives a lot of transcripts, so we ask for your patience as our admissions and registrar's office staff work hard to process all of these. If you do not see your transcript updated by August 1st, please be sure to reach out to your academic advisor. Now let's talk about fall registration. If you're a classical studies major, we advise you to start with Greek 1 and Latin 1 in your first semester if possible. Then you can add any of the classical studies courses listed on this slide, including Greek and Latin for vocabulary building, classical mythology, introduction to classics, great works of ancient literature in Greece, and women in classical antiquity. Any of those courses will be fine. In addition, you can add any general ed courses, such as English, natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, and fine arts. And don't forget about math. As a classical studies major, you can take either Math 1050, Explorations of Math, or Math 2228, Elementary Statistics, and there is no minimum SAT or ACT score needed for either of those math courses. If your major is great books, you can also start on your foreign language in the fall. However, if the course you want is closed, you can also wait until the spring or even your sophomore year to start your language. You can also take Great Books 2600, great books of the 19th and 20th centuries. But again, no worries if that course is closed, you have plenty of time. Just add general education courses to your schedule instead. Those include English 1100, Math, Natural Sciences, Social Sciences, Humanities, and Fine Arts. And for Math, you can take Math 1050 or Math 2228. Neither of those courses require a minimum SAT or ACT score. Let's take a closer look at foreign language. We offer French, German, Ancient Greek, Japanese, Latin, Russian, and Spanish. American Sign Language is not considered a foreign language. Your BA degree requires foreign language through level 4. The first level, 1001, is for students who have no prior knowledge of a language. If you have prior knowledge, it would be to your benefit to take a placement test and possibly start at a higher level. Let's say you take the placement test and place into the third level of a language. You would then start with level 3. Once you complete level 3, you would automatically receive placement credit for levels 1 and 2. You would then need to complete level 4 and your language requirement would be complete. For this reason, we recommend students with prior knowledge in language start their language as soon as possible so you don't forget what you learned in high school. We offer online placement tests for French, German, and Spanish. Keep in mind, a test is required for Spanish, even for those who want to start in the first level. For test information, visit www.ecu.edu/foreign. You should have learned about the 40 hours of general education requirements in your orientation module. So now we are going to dive a little deeper into specifics. The first category of general ed I want to discuss are the natural sciences. You must take at least 7 hours of natural sciences in order to graduate. One of those sciences must include a lab. This slide contains suggestions for all non-science majors. If you are interested in pursuing a health-related pre-professional program, such as pre-med, pre-dental, pre-pharmacy, etc., then you will need to take different science courses not listed on this screen. Consult your advisor for further guidance. Next, let's talk about social sciences. You must complete at least 9 hours of social sciences to graduate, and 2 of those must be from different disciplines or areas. As you can see, there are a lot of options for you to choose from. We offer many courses in African and African American Studies, Anthropology, Economics, Ethnic Studies, Gender Studies, Geography, History, International Studies, Linguistics, Planning, Political Science, Psychology, and Sociology. Keep in mind, not every course is offered every semester, so you'll need to check Banner Self-Service for course availability. You'll also notice some courses have GD or DD listed beside of them. This means they also count for your global diversity or domestic diversity credit, which is also required for graduation. Our next categories of Gen Ed are Humanities and Fine Arts. Students will need at least 1 humanity and at least 1 fine art, plus an additional humanity or fine art to complete this graduation requirement. Students must take 9 hours total. The humanities include courses such as English literature, classical literature, foreign literature, which is taught in English by the way, history, religion, and philosophy. The fine arts category includes art appreciation, intro to dance, the enjoyment of music, jazz appreciation, and intro to theater, just to name a few. Now that you know all of your options, it's time to register. Use your registration PIN of 082420 to register for the courses we just discussed. Remember, register for your priority courses first and then fill in the rest. You have plenty of options. You can find step-by-step registration instructions on many websites, including Peer, the Registrar's website, and our academic advising website listed on our first slide. We also have a page listing frequent problems you may encounter, so please refer to that. If you have further questions, please email your academic advisor. Now it's time for some important reminders. Don't forget, register for a minimum of 12 hours for full-time billing purposes. And keep in mind that classes that are closed now may open up later as students change their majors and adjust their schedules, so keep checking Banner daily throughout the summer. And check your ECU email daily. And be sure to explore our academic advising website for more great resources, including links to your major department's homepage. And finally, get to know your undergraduate catalog, because your advisor will provide advice, but ultimately you will be responsible for following the requirements in that catalog. Be sure to follow the virtual orientation schedule throughout the rest of the summer so you can learn all about your major and perhaps even double major opportunities. You'll also learn about the great resources available to you at ECU. Be sure to review your admissions checklist to make sure you have taken care of everything. And finally, always communicate with your academic advisor if you have questions or concerns. We are here to help. We understand this is a confusing process. If you still have questions, please be sure to email your advisor. For Classics, Dr. John Stevens, or for Great Books, Dr. Helena Fetter.